workload at university is so much larger than at high school or college, so it's really important to stay on top of things and be as organised as possible to avoid feeling under pressure. I'd suggest definitely using some form of calendar or diary to keep track of your deadlines and plan your work while at university. You could use a paper diary or the calendar or even your mobile phone, but my secret weapon at uni so far has been a huge wall planner. I keep it pinned to my bedroom wall each trimester, and it makes it so much easier to keep track of my time. So first of all, I plotted each of my deadlines on the wall planner so that I had the whole trimester laid out clearly in front of me. Once I know where each deadline fell, I was able to start thinking about what work I need to do to prepare for them. One of the larger essays I had to write last trimester was on gender stereotypes in advertising, and after reading through the assessment criteria and requirements, I established that I needed to allow time to gather the evidence and information, and then explore that information. Create an essay plan and organise the evidence into a coherent argument. Write a first draft and the references, and finally edit and polish my final draft. Once I'd identified what was needed, I considered how long I need to dedicate to each of these stages in order to complete them effectively. I then worked backwards from the deadline date to establish when I need to start and finish each of these stages to meet the assessment deadline on time. This really worked well for me and allowed me to enjoy learning about the topic and writing the essay because I wasn't under a huge pressure to write it in a few days before the hand-in date. A few people in my course did do this and it seemed so stressful. I really didn't envy them. My top tip would be that it's hugely important to keep an eye out for deadlines that are close together or overlapping, as you'll often need to work on 2 or more assessments at any given time when you're at university. You need to make sure that you allow for this when you're planning and learn to prioritise your tasks. Sadly, sometimes you might need to turn down the odd night out or put off reading your new novel to get in some extra work. But by plotting all your deadlines out in the calendar or wall planner at the beginning of the trimester, you can see where these overlaps are going to happen and plan around them. It is also really important to plot your personal commitments on your calendar. There's nothing worse than planning to edit your essay over the weekend and then being reminded at the last minute that you have a party to go to on the Saturday evening. Stuff like this has happened to me before and it's a nightmare. So yeah, I definitely suggest making sure that you log everything from assessment deadlines, to nights out, to doctor's appointments, to make sure that nothing slips under the radar, and that you're totally aware of where you need to be and what you need to do. I actually had quite a lot of fun putting together my wall planner. I colour-coded different types of activities. For example, deadlines were in red, working on preparing assessments was in blue, and free time or personal commitments were in green. My wall chart was literally a lifesaver last year. It took so much pressure off, and it's definitely a tactic I'll be using again throughout the rest of my degree. For information about study support available at Edinburgh Napier University, visit Academic Skills on the student portal.